Shabbat Shalom. This is Shabbat, March 28, 2020. The Torah portion is Leviticus 1:1 through 6:7. The Vayikra, which is he called. It starts out with, Jehovah called to Moshe and spoke to him in the tent of meeting. He said, "Speak to the people of Israel, say to them, when any of you bring an offering to Adonai, you may bring your animal offering either from the herd or from the flock. If his offering is a burnt offering from the herd, it must offer a male without defect. He is to bring it to the entrance of the tent of meeting so that it can be accepted by Jehovah." This part of the Torah tells of the different sacrifices, how they are to happen, and the reasons for that kind of sacrifice. So what, you might ask? Why is Leviticus relevant to us today? Glad you asked. Leviticus lays out that Yah's plan is to lead us toward his plan for us that was in the Garden of Eden, to fellowship with him for his glory and for our blessing. How should we understand Yeshua's sacrifice if we don't understand the sacrificial system which his sacrifice was based? Do we fear Yahweh and take him seriously in all aspects of our lives? In 1 Peter 1:13 through 16, I would recommend that you pause the video at this point, get your Bible, open it up so you can follow along in whatever translation you're used to using. This way, we'll have a little bit more of a connection. So this is 1 Peter 1:13 through 16. "Therefore, preparing your minds for action and being sober-minded, set your hope fully on the grace that will be brought to you at the revelation of Yeshua. As obedient children, do not be conformed to the passions of your former ignorance, but as he who called you is holy, you also be holy in all your conduct. Since it is written, 'You shall be holy, for I am holy.'" We find that phrase throughout Leviticus. I'm holy, so you be holy. So what of those that willfully ignore the instruction? Hebrews 10:26 through 29. Again, pause, flip to it in your Bible so you can follow along. Hebrews 10:26 to 29. "For if we go on sinning deliberately after receiving the knowledge of the truth, there no longer remains a sacrifice for sins, but a fearful expectation of judgment and a fury of fire that will consume the adversaries. Anyone who has set aside the law of Moses dies without mercy on the evidence of 2 or 3 witnesses. How much more worse punishment do you think will be deserved by the one who has trampled underfoot the Son of God and has profaned the blood of the covenant by which he was sanctified and has outraged the Spirit of grace?" Powerful statement. The sacrificial system laid out in Leviticus is for unintentional sin. In Leviticus, there is no sacrifice for willful disobedience. I challenge you to search this, review this, learn this, understand this. This certainly helps keep me, or encourages me to be on the straight and narrow, to understand and keep that in there. I don't want to disrespect the sacrifice of Yeshua. I don't want to do anything that would shame the sacrifice. But I would prefer to do what Paul, encourages, which is written in Romans 12:1. Waiting for you to pause. Okay, you're back. This is why Paul's teaching in 12:1 is so important. I appeal to you, therefore, brothers, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your spiritual worship. When you study Leviticus, you will find an underlying principle that Yahweh divides, elects, and then separates. He makes distinctions and draws boundaries. Remember what Yeshua said? If you love me, you will keep my commandments. That's John 14:15. Show that you love Yeshua, find out what his commandments are, and follow them. Doing so will draw us even closer to the time when we will be fellowshipping with Yahweh. Think about that. He's asked us to be holy so he can interact with us. Shabbat Shalom.